Yes, good morning to my dear friends. Look here in the last class, we are discussing about basic concepts, and as I said already, you are not only studying in electronics. What I said in the yesterday's class, that is also there in physics in second year, and if you go for engineering or any other degree, once again you are studying there also. And here I am going only about the basic concepts. And look here in the yesterday's class, we are discussing about what is current, what is voltage, and what is the relation between current and voltage, and what is nothing but your power. And also I said about in electronics, we have done the two important branches, that is nothing but analog electronics and digital electronics. Maybe once again you go for that because as I said already, our subject is called VIP because it is very important subject. As said, because of in general, but it is also practically it is so important, because I said already in your electronics, in overall electronics, you are studying about the most important thing about voltage, and also you are studying about current, and also studying about the power. And we can the voltage can write as symbolically V, I, and P. Look here in overall electronics, whatever you are studying in electronics or whatever studying in electronic devices, they all depends upon the current, voltage and power. In overall in electronics, you are giving more importance to the voltage, current and power. These are so basic concepts, and I said already it is also helpful to in your physics second year. And because as I said in the last class, maybe you already studied in your school level about voltage. Yes, I said about voltage, the V is equal to W by Q. The voltage V is equal to W by Q. It means, as I said, you people, the voltage is nothing but it is an energy. It will give the energy to the charges. It will give the energy to the charges. It means, as I said, you people, without voltage you are not having any current. Without voltage you are not having current. It means, as I said in the last class, about this is a positive charge, this is a negative charge, this may be A or this may be a B. Actually, what is nothing but voltage or potential difference, nothing but the amount of work done to move the charges from one place to another place. This is having the electric field and you are moving towards the against electric field. Once I repeat, what is called voltage? The amount of work done to move the charges from one place to another place against electric field, nothing but voltage. And also I said about current. You know already, so many students will understand what is current. It is very simple. It is nothing but Q I is equal to S Q by T. Look here for your current, nothing but the rate of flow of charges through a conductor. It means the current nothing but the rate of flow of charges through a conductor. It means that's why look here, as we know already, only in general the current nothing but flow of charges, but actual definition of your current nothing but the rate of flow of charges through a conductor, because as we know already, in your conductor only the current will flow, and in insulator, as we know, it is not conducting. Insulator is in material, in this material the current is not flowing. And semiconductors, it is line between conducting insulator or it conducts partially. It means actually, as I said, you people, the current nothing but Q by T, it is rate of flow of charges through a conductor. And in the same way for the P, that is nothing but V into I. It is also called as the rate of doing work, or it is a product of voltage and current. Maybe I said in the very good example how to identify, how to remember voltage, current and power. Because as I said, once again repeat, maybe you have some confusion in the yesterday's class. I said the good example is about yours. If you take your example, then you can understand very easily the concept what I am saying here. It means, as I said, you people, the students are nothing but electrons. Because why I said about students nothing but electrons? Because as we know, electrons are always moving. Also they are active. They are not sitting in the same place. And you compare with students. Students also are always active. They are also very fast like that of electrons. And also they are not sitting in the same place. That's why I said about electrons nothing but students. And another important thing I said about current is also called as, that also you can compare with students. Because what is current? The moving of charges, moving of electrons. And also students are also moving, they are also active. That's why I said it is also called as current. And this I said, in a conductor, if the electrons are moving randomly, in a conductor, if the electrons are moving randomly, the net current will be zero. If the electrons are moving randomly, the net current will be zero. It means when you want the current, means without applying any voltage to the conductor, the net current will be zero. It means the voltage will give the particular direction to the electrons. The voltage will give particular direction to the electrons. It means if you want more current, if you want the current should not be zero, it means you want to apply some voltage. As I said, voltage is nothing but it will give some energy to the electrons. In the same way, yesterday class I said the voltage nothing but the lecturers, because what the voltage will do for in the electronics, they will give the direction to the electrons. In the same way, for your example, what is the use of the lecturer? The lecturer will give the direction to the students how to read, how to study. In the same way, for our electronics, the voltage will give the particular direction to the electrons. Or because of voltage, you are having the current. If you are not applying any voltage, the net current will be zero. It means the voltage will give the particular direction to the electrons. And as I said, if you want more power, means, as I said, always you want, according to your example, about student life, which one is important? You want more score, you want more result. That more score, more result, that depends upon the, as I said, that depends two things. One is about effort of the student and also effort of the lecturer. If you combine both efforts, you will get 100%, you will get the more result or more marks. That is, yesterday I said about the importance of current, voltage, and also I said about importance of your power. And also I said about the most important thing about in electronics, you are studying about the two important branches. One is called your analog electronics. Analog electronics. And another is called your digital electronics. Look here, as I said in the yesterday's class, before going for the actual what is analog and what is digital signals or your electronics, if you know in general meaning, then it is very easy to understand the topic or subject, because so many things are related in general. Look here, yesterday I given good 3 examples, and as compared to the analog, you are giving more importance to the digital electronics. And as we know, why you are giving more importance to digital electronics? What is the importance of digital electronics? What are the advantage of your digital electronics as compared to your analog electronics or analog signals? And yesterday I said one good example about your our PM said Modi, the digital India. They are not said about analog India. And why only the Modi said digital India? It means Modi has some knowledge of electronics. That's why they said digital India, not analog India. And also in the yesterday's class I said about how to understand in general about digital and analog. And why you are giving more importance to digital electronics? I given yesterday example, very simple example. You take your watch. It is very basic concept, very good example to understand analog and digital electronics or analog and digital signals. Look here, you compare your small children also using the watch, also the elder peoples also using the watches. It means in broad you can classify two types of watches. One is called analog watch, another called digital watch. And in analog watch we are having some needle. By moving that needle we can see the time in that watch. But in the same time in your digital watch you get some numbers. By that number you can see the time. But what is the major difference about this watch and that watch? It means always we want more accuracy. Also we want very easy to handle. And you have to understand very easily to know the time. Because as I study you people, if you use the analog watch for small children, they don't know how to see the time. But same, if you go to the digital watch, they will see easily at the time. It means we can see very easily the time, or it is very easy to handle. And also, most important thing about more accuracy, because yesterday I said in analog watch it is not possible to see the seconds, but in your digital watch we can see the seconds also, we can count the seconds also. And also another important thing, cost. As your digital watch is having very low cost, but your analog watch is very costly. That's why these are the two good example about the analog and digital watch. Also I said about yesterday's class about your digital camera and analog camera. As I said already, in before 30 years or 40 years back, they are using analog cameras. They are so big in size. And also they want some environment, then they can take the pictures. And also the important thing is about you are not having good clarity and quality of the pictures. But nowadays you can use very small digital cameras. You can keep it in pocket, or it is as your similar to like that your mobiles. And also the lightweight, compact in size, and having good clarity and quality of the picture. The important thing, you can go for zooming, you can store the data, or you can erase or eliminate the data. Eliminate data, that is possible in your digital cameras. Another I said about for your example, you people, yes, the students want to ride any vehicle, any bike. That nowadays bikes, they are also having the digital meter. By that digital meter you can understand very easily about which kilometer you are going, which speed you are going. Before that also having some needle. By that needle you can understand which speed you are going in that bike. But nowadays everything is in digital. Another important thing I said about in your all the shops, they are using nowadays they are using about yes, they are using weighing machine, that also digital. Before that they are using of physical balance, in that we can't say the accuracy. But nowadays by using your digital weighing machines we will get the more accuracy. That's why we prefer about the digital electronics rather than your analog electronics. One thing important in overall, what are the advantages or why we prefer the digital electronics? The most important thing is about more accuracy. We want more accuracy. That is given by your digital electronics. And also they are very cheap. They are not costly. They are very cheap. And another important, they are very fast. Nowadays, everything should be on very fast. You should not having the patience to wait for some time. They are very fast. And another important thing, compact in size, lightweight. And another important thing, you can store the information, you can process the information, you can control the information. Everything is there in your digital electronics. These are the importance of why you are giving importance to the digital electronics rather than your analog electronics. And yesterday I said about what is analog signal and what is the digital signal. Actually, what are the drawbacks of your analog signal? We are not giving importance to the analog signals. As I said, you people, the analog signal is nothing but you can consider the sine wave. You can consider it sine wave. It means, as I said, you people, what is signal? The signal may be the variation in the physical quantity. The variation in the physical quantity with respect to time. Especially in electronics, the signal means it may be the current, it may be the voltage. The variation in the current or variation in the voltage, that is something but the signal. It means in your analog electronics or analog signal, nothing but it is a type of signal. In this signal, the current or voltage is varying continuously with respect to the time. What is analog signal or what is analog electronics means in this analog electronics or analog signal, nothing but the signal is continuously varying with respect to time. The signal is continuously varying with respect to the time. That is the definition of analog signal. And I just said, you people, what are the drawbacks? We are going for the digital electronics rather than analog electronics. The most important thing here in your analog signal, the important drawback, because it is continuously changing, it is moving continuously, it is changing continuously. If it is changing continuously, means it is not possible to control the input and output. The most important thing, it is very difficult to control the input and output. And also, it is very difficult to store or process the information. One thing, it is very difficult to control the input-output signals, or it is very difficult to process. It is very difficult to process signal, and because it is moving very fast, that's why the circuit is so complicated. The analog circuit is so complicated, and because it is so complicated, it is big in size. It is so bulky, and it will take so much of time to process the signal, process data. These are the, and another most important thing, the noise. Noise, nothing but it is called unwanted signal. You are studying in detail after coming for your studying in detail in your second year PUC, or if you go for engineering or other courses. But now it is enough. The noise is nothing but unwanted signal. The unwanted signal is more for your analog signal. This noise is very less for the digital signals. This I said about the technical importance. Just before I said about in general, but important thing about in your analog signal, you are having the more noise, and also you are having more losses. You are having the more power losses. Also you are having more distortions. You are having the more distortions. These are the drawbacks or your limitations of your analog signal. And now we will go for the digital signal or digital electronics. Look here, in the digital signal or digital electronics, you take the example of your square wave. You take the example of square wave. Look here, it may be the current or voltage, and here it may be the time. This is 1, 0, 1, 0. It means in digital signal or digital electronics, the signal is not continuous. It is called discrete. The signal is not continuous. It means signal is not changing continuously. The signal is not changing continuously. It is having only the two states. It is having only the two states. Yesterday I said about it, it may be the high or it may be the low. Or you can say high means 1 and low means 0. Having only the two condition or two states. And because of you are having only the two states, it is very easy to control. Also it is very easy to process the signal, and also it is very fast as compared to the another signal, and also you can store the signal, and also the most important thing is about having low noise, because it is not possible to totally eliminate the noise, but you can reduce the noise. It means if you use the digital signal, you can reduce the noise, and also you can reduce the distortions. You can reduce the distortions. It is very fast, and the size also very compact in size, and you can control signal, you can process signal, and also the size also very small in size and lightweight. These are the I am saying about the advantages of the digital electronics in technical meaning. Right? This is about the importance of your analog and digital electronics, and especially in your electronics. This is about I said in broad. Actually in electronics, in overall electronics, you are studying about the two important components. You are studying in electronics the most two important components. One is called active component. Active components. And another one is called passive component. We go for today's class about look here for your what is called your active components and what is called your passive components. Look here in overall, you consider any electron device that contains both active and passive components. It is not possible to construct a device without active and passive components. You take your radio, you take your TV, or you take your mobile, or you take your computer, you take any device in electronics that contains both active and passive components. Now we will go for what is the active component and what is passive component, and then we will go for about what are the important difference about the active and passive components. Look here, that name into their meaning, especially in active device. You can say active device, or also you can say about passive device or component. Look here, the most important thing about active components, active device, they will able to give the energy. The most important thing, what is nothing but active component and what is nothing but passive component. The active components or the components or devices, they will able to give the energy. This is nothing but the very simple definition of your active components. Another way, the active components will amplify the signal, or it will control the signal. The active components or the components, they will amplify the signal or they will control the signal. That type of components is nothing but your active components or active device. Follow what I am saying? The active components are the components which are able to give the energy. What type of energy they may give? It may be to amplify the signal, or it will control signal, or it will strengthen the signal, or it will convert the energy from one form to another form. For example, it may be the AC to DC, or DC to AC, or your AC to AC, or your DC to DC. This everything is possible in your active components. As you've seen in your in every electronic device, especially your nowadays, it is very important thing is about integrated circuits, IC. In that IC also you are having one or two active elements. Then only it works properly. It means the overall active devices or active components are nothing but they will give the ability with energy. The energy may be in terms of amplifying the signal, or you can increase the power level of a signal, or if you want more gain, or if you want to control signal, everything is possible by using your active devices. And what are the examples of your active device? You go for that. Actually, in active device, first one is about your diode and transistor and your FET or your amplifiers or your oscillators or your rectifiers or your AC or DC source. These are the example for your active devices or active components. Especially, we'll go in brief about this. You are studying in detail about everything in your electronics. As we know, the diode, it is a two-terminal semiconductor device. It is a two-terminal semiconductor device. And the most important thing about diode, it is used as a rectifier. It is used as a rectifier. Maybe you have seen, this is nothing but your diode. The important thing in diode is about it conducts only in one direction. It conducts only one direction because this property of conducting only one direction, or it conducts current in only one direction, or it is a unidirectional device. Because of this reason, the diode is used as a rectifier. Maybe you have seen the rectifier nothing but they will convert AC into pulsating DC. The rectifier convert AC into DC or pulsating DC. That is about the diode. It means in the diode you can convert one form energy to another. Actually you are giving AC as an input, but you get the output as DC. That is nothing but your diodes. Then you go for the transistors. Actually the transistor is also the important thing in electronics. And look here, the transistor is a three-terminal semiconductor device. The most important function of transistor, it will transfer the signal from the low resistance to high resistance. You can transfer signal from the low resistance to high resistance. Or you can say about the most important application of diode of your transistor is used as amplifier. The most important application of transistor, it is used as a amplifier. And maybe you have seen this is your symbol of your transistor. This is symbol of your transistor. Sorry. It means the most important thing in your transistor is nothing but it is used as an amplifier. Also it is a switch. And as we know, the amplifier nothing but it will amplify the signals. If you are applying very low input signal, but in the output you will very large output, we can increase or you can strengthen the weak signal. You can increase the output or you can strengthen the weak signals, or you can amplify the signals. That is nothing but the amplifier. And as you know about diode, you know about transistor. Also the FET, that also important. It is called field effect transistor. It is also type of transistor, and it is also helpful in the amplification. Also it is helpful in your switching purpose. The FET, field effect transistor, it is also type of transistor. In this FET also it is used for the amplification. It is also used for the switching purpose. Yes, you know diode, you know transistor, also you know about FET. Then you go for the, yes, I said about amplifier also. Amplifier is a circuit, it is an electronic circuit that will amplify, means they will increase the input signal, they will strengthen the input signal, or they will increase the input signal. It may be current or it may be voltage. The input may be current or voltage, that will be increased, the input signal will increase or strengthened by use of your amplifiers. And another important thing about your oscillators. Oscillator, in your oscillator, it is also type of electronic device or type of electronic circuit. In oscillator, what is the use of oscillator? The oscillator will give the AC signals, it will generate the signals. The oscillator will generate the signals or it will give the AC signals. Another way in oscillator is nothing but we are not doing any input but still you will get output. Oscillator is device or circuit. In oscillator we are not giving any input, still you will get the output. Another way of oscillator will convert DC into AC. The oscillator convert DC into AC. This is about the oscillator, and also we know about rectifiers. Rectifier is a device or circuit, they will convert AC into DC. This is about, I said about you have so many active components, so many active devices. One is called, also you can say AC and DC source. They will give the AC signal, also they will give the DC signal, and that is nothing but source, nothing but they will give the signals. They will give the AC voltage or current, that is nothing but AC source or DC source. This is about in brief about your active components. Now come to the passive components. Actually the passive components, there are only three. And what are passive components? Or you can read about device. Look here, in your passive component here I have only three. One is called a resistor, another is called your capacitor, and last one is called your inductor. These are the passive components. And why these are called passive components? Because as I said, it is totally opposite of the active components. What I said about active components are the components which are able to give the energy. They will give the energy in terms of amplification, in terms of controlling, or in terms of can increase the power level. But as you know, passive components are the components which are only receive the energy. They are only receive the energy, or it will store the energy, or it will dissipate the energy. Once again I repeat, what are passive components? These are the components. The important thing in passive component, they will only receive the energy, or they will only dissipate energy, or only they will store the energy. That is, they are not able to give the energy. The most important thing, they are not able to give the energy. This is nothing but your importance of your passive components. And actually, what is the major difference about active and passive components? As I said, you people, if you want to construct any electron device, the both are important. Without active, it is not possible to construct an electron device. Without passive, it is not possible to construct an electron device. It means if you want to construct any electron device, it may be your computer, or it may be your mobiles, or it may be your TV or radio, take any electron device. As I said about oscillator, as I said about amplifiers, as I said about rectifiers, in everywhere you are using about the both, the active and passive components. And this also, I'll give small an example, then you can understand very easily about what are active and passive components. Once again you take your example only, because I am taking your example to understand subject very easily. What I said about active components, they are able to give energy. Consider your lecturers are called active components because they will give some knowledge to you people. They will give some energy to you people. Right? The active components are the components they will able to give the energy. But in your side, for the student side, student purpose, always students want the more knowledge. They want to gain more knowledge. That knowledge given by the lecturers. It means according to the active components, according to me, the lecturers are called as active components because they are able to give the energy. In the same way, passive components. The passive components are nothing but your students are called passive components. Why the students are passive components? Because the students always they receive the energy or they store the energy. As I said, they will receive the energy, also they will store the energy, and whenever in the exam they can use that. You can use that knowledge or that energy. It means overall, lecturers they will give some energy, nothing but they will give some knowledge. But The student, they will receive the some knowledge, or they will receive they'll store the knowledge. It means in the college, the both are important. The lecturers also important, students also important. In the same way, in electronic device, if you want to construct any electronic device, the both are important. Without active, it is not possible to construct an electronic device. Without passive, it is also not possible to construct an electronic device. It means both are important. Then only you can construct any electronic device. Like that in the college. If maybe you have seen so many colleges are closed without students, so many colleges are closed without lecturers. It means both are important. Like that in electronics, if you want to construct any type of device in electronics, we are having both are important. It may be the active components or it may be the passive component. This is about in general about active and passive components. Especially, what are the major difference about active and passive components? Why the major difference? The one thing major difference is about, as I said, you people active components they will amplify the signal, they will strengthen the signal, and they will control the signal, and also they are called non-linear. And important thing in your active components, the most important thing is about they require some DC source. By that they will convert into or they will go for the amplification. But as in your passive component, they only receive the energy, or they will dissipate the energy, or they will store the energy. The importance is they are called linear devices. They are called linear devices. And this is about the major difference about your active and passive components. And today we'll go for in brief about as I said about in active components, you are using transistor, you are using diodes, you are using your FET, you are using amplifiers, you are using oscillators, you are using rectifier. In the same way, you are only three for your passive components. You will go for what is called resistor, what is called capacitor, and what is called the inductor. And maybe you have studied in school level, the resistor, it comes under the passive component. And actually, what is the resistor? The resistor is what is resistor or resistance? Actually, it is their name indicates their meaning. It resists the flow of current. It is a property of material. It opposes the flow of current or charge carriers. The resistor or resistance, I can say resistor. It is a property of material. It opposes the flow of charge carriers or flow of current. What is the resistor? It is a passive component and it is a property of a material. It opposes the flow of charge carriers, flow of current. The most important thing about resistor is about you already maybe studied in your school level. Look here for resistor, it is a passive component and it is a property of material. It opposes flow of current or flow of electrons. And actually, in your resistor, the process of opposing the property is nothing but resistance. The process of opposing the flow of current or flow of charges, that is nothing but resistance. And maybe you already studied in your this is the symbol of your resistance. Yes, the symbol of resistance is nothing but, and also the unit of resistance is ohms. The ohm is scientist name. This is nothing but your resistance. It means, sir, why you are using resistance? What is the importance of resistance? And look here, the most important thing in resistance, as I said, you people to dissipate the heat. The most important thing, it will dissipate the heat and also it control the current. What is the most important property of resistance? To control the current. To control the current, to dissipate the heat, and also they will create the potential difference, they will divide the voltage. The most important about control the current. Control the current. Another one, to divide the voltage, and to dissipate the power. dissipate the. So the most important thing is about, again more important to the these three importance about what is the main function of resistor. The first one to control the flow of current, second one it will create a potential drops, third will divide the voltage, and third one is about to dissipate the heat. These are the importance about the resistance. And another important thing in the resistance, look here for your resistance. Once again we take the small example. Look here, every human being has some resistance power. Every human being having their own resistance power. And as we know already, what is the use of resistance in your human body? For example, if you are having the more resistance power, means you are not having any, it will oppose the diseases. How in electronics the resistance will oppose the flow of current, in the same way for your human beings, they are having their own resistance that will oppose the diseases. Nowadays, as we know, the corona is very big disease, and if you are having more resistance power, you can avoid the corona disease. If you are having more resistance power, that because of that resistance power, that will avoid, they will prevent your corona disease. It means in overall, the resistance in our human beings is oppose the diseases. In the same way for our electronics, the resistance will oppose the flow of current. And actually in resistance, there are two types of resistances. One is called in broad, you can say about fixed resistance or resistor, and another one is called variable resistor. Another is called variable resistor. Variable resistor. Look here for your fixed resistor, their name will be their meaning. While manufacturer only they will fix that value. It is not possible to user that change the resistance value. What is called fixed resistance? Nothing but in fixed resistance the value of resistance is fixed. It is not possible for the user to change the value. The manufacturer only fix that value. That is nothing but your fixed resistance. At the same time, the variable resistance. The variable resistance is a type of resistance. In this variable resistance, the user can change the resistance value. Having some range, up to that range you can change the resistance value. That is nothing but variable resistance. Fixed is nothing but fixed. It is not possible for the user to change the resistance value, but in variable it is possible to change the resistance value. This is about the importance of resistance. What is the resistor I said, what is the important function of resistors, and what is the type of resistors, and maybe where you are using the resistance. The one thing important, to control the flow of current and to create the potential drop, to divide the voltage. It is also used as a load. These are the importance about your resistor. And then you go for the capacitor. What is called capacitor? What is called your capacitor? Look here, the capacitor, it is also type of passive component. And as I said, you people, the capacitor, what is the important property of capacitor? The important property of capacitor is about to store the charge carriers. To store the charge carrier in terms of electric field. The capacitor, it is a passive component, it will store the charges in terms of electric field. To store the charge in terms of electric field. It means the most important thing about capacitor, it is a passive component, it will store the charge in terms of electric field. And actually the definition of capacitor, nothing but the symbol of capacitor. What is capacitor? It is a two conducting plates separated dielectric medium. It is called A, it is called B, in between having the dielectric. What is called capacitor? The capacitor nothing but two conducting plates separated dielectric medium. That is nothing but capacitor. A and B are called conducting plates. In between you are having the dielectric. It means capacitor is there nothing but it is a passive component. It is nothing but two conducting plates separated dielectric medium. And another important thing is about it will show the charge in terms of electric field. It will show the charge in terms of electric field. And another most important property of capacitor, it will oppose the DC or it blocks the DC. It will blocks or oppose the current, block the AC. The most important property of capacitor is nothing but it is a passive component and it will store the charge in terms of electric field, and also it blocks the DC, it allows the AC. And what is capacitor is nothing but the two conducting plates separated dielectric medium. Another is simple way. Capacitor is nothing but capacity to store the charges. What is capacitor? Nothing but capacity to store the charges or ability to store the charges. That is nothing but your capacitor. And maybe you have seen already, this is your symbol of capacitor, and you can write the farad is the unit of your capacitor. And now we will go for in the finally about inductors. We go for the inductor. Look here for your inductors. What is inductor? As I said already, the inductor it is also type of passive component. The inductor is also type of passive component. And what is the main function of inductor? No doubt, it also to store the charge in terms of magnetic field. In terms of magnetic field. The difference about inductor and capacitor. The inductor will store the charge in terms of magnetic field. And what is inductor? It is a coil. Wound is some core. What is inductor? It is a coil. Wound is some core. That is nothing but it is a wire. It is a wire. Wound is some core. That is nothing but inductor. And also important thing is about inductor will store the charges in terms of magnetic field. And another important thing, the inductor it blocks the AC. The most important property of inductor is about it blocks the AC. It means so many students have confusion about what is the capacitor or what is the inductor. No doubts, the capacitor is nothing but it will store the energy in terms of electric field, but the inductor will store the energy in terms of magnetic field. And also the capacitor will blocks the DC, it allows the AC, but inductor will blocks the AC, it allows the DC. These are the importance about inductors and capacitor and resistors. And actually in overall it may be the inductor, it may be capacitor, or it may be your resistance. As I said, they are having the two types in broad. It may be the fixed type of capacitor or fixed type of inductor, or it may be the variable type of capacitor, it is a type, and also it may be the variable type of inductors. As I said, in the resistance, in your fixed capacitor, the capacitor value fixed. The user cannot change the capacitor value. That is nothing but fixed capacitor. But in variable capacitor, the user can change the value of the capacitor. That is nothing but variable capacitor. But inductor, nothing but in inductor, once again there are two types. Fixed, nothing but the value of inductance is fixed. The user cannot change that inductor value. But as in your variable, the user can change the inductance value. That is nothing but the types of inductor, types of capacitor, also types of resistance, and also we can measure the inductance by using Henry's. As we know, the resistance you can measure by ohms, capacitor by using Faradays, and by using your inductance you can measure by the Henrys. This is about in brief about electronics components. It may be the active components or it may be the passive component. Thank you.